the biggest part of your life, and also, I mean, sometimes I think that Mexico gets a bad run from us, the Mexicans. I mean, sometimes you don't really appreciate what you have until you go to another place. And of course, there's a lot of nice things here in Sweden and everything, but there's also a lot of good things in Mexico that I miss, like for example the food. That people are very warm in comparison, the weather, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, all in all, well, of course, my family and my friends, that goes without saying. But yeah, I would say that I also miss Mexico quite a lot.
Is there a thing that you dislike about Sweden?
Yeah, sometimes I dislike that there's not so many sunny days as there are in Mexico. Where I was in Mexico, I never really appreciated that, but here in Sweden is fairly common to have, I don't know, months or sometimes even more than that, that there's no sun at all. It's always cloudy. So yeah, I think that part I don't like as much.
What is the most Swedish food you can find?
I don't know. For example, there are Swedish food like Swedish people consider to be Swedish food the cinnamon rolls. They have like a slightly different version here in Sweden. They eat a lot of I think it's called seal in English, or no, herring. It's called herring, which is a type of fish. So it's a raw fish. They eat it like that. They even have a version that is like fermented raw fish that smells pretty bad and also tastes not so good. And what else? Swedish people, they also consider that they eat a lot of berries and strawberries. So the ones here are pretty good actually. So also those ones.
Um, are there some cultural places near to visit?
Yeah, near the place where I live, aside from the cultural places that are here in Västerås, uh, you can take the train to Stockholm, and it's like 40 minutes or something like that. So in Stockholm, there's a lot of things to see, like I don't know, many museums, the Royal Palace, things like that.
Um, what is the first thing that people say when you tell them that you're a Mexican?
I don't know. I usually get a lot of responses like I don't know, from people asking me whether or not it's like super dangerous, or people telling me I don't look so Mexican, or I don't know. So pretty much is that, and a lot of people get surprised because Mexico is very far away from here, so it's not so common to find Mexican people in Sweden.
So, how can you describe the vision of Sweden about Mexico?
Yeah, I think it's very negative. Like they really think that we live in some sort of like in a desert area, and that it's super dangerous, and if you go outside in the street, you will get killed or something like that. So they really think that I don't know, it's like in the movies or something like that.
And the last question, what advices can you give for someone who is planning to study on Sweden?
I would say my advice is to, I mean, if you plan to stay for longer, would be to start learning Swedish as soon as possible, because I think that's like the biggest obstacle for most students, that they finish their degree and stuff, and perhaps they know a lot and they can integrate themselves in the workforce, but they need to find the jobs that are only in English, and there are very few of them. And even when you can work with English, it's better if you have Swedish, because that means that you're going to stay here and you're going to integrate easier in the society and stuff like that. So my advice would be to learn Swedish as soon as possible.
Okay, I think that's all for now. So, thanks a lot for your time
All right, you're welcome.
and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, in conclusion, I can say that Sweden is a country with a really efficient culture of work in comparison with Mexico. As Eric told me, I can say that we work hard here in Mexico, but really not smart. And we have a long way to achieve a work culture as in Sweden. As what I heard, I recommend going to Sweden to study robotics because there are way more job opportunities than in Mexico.